fund. We're projecting to end our debt with $2,723. So I suspect that your debt obligation was structured with it in mind that you had almost $1.7 million in your fund equity. That's the way the payments were structured. And I can guarantee that's the case because you have Baker Tilly as your financial advisors, and they are very cognizant about making sure that you are getting the best deal as far as not taxing your property owners too much. If you got a summer tax collection, you have a November principal payment, it's structured properly. The next page is.
I'm sorry, what's that 2,000? That's the number you're talking about, the 2,723. That's what you're talking about?
That's what we're gonna have left in our debt fund. That's what I'm projecting you have left in your debt fund once you paid the debt obligation, which is great. That's a little tight, but it's better than 1.7 million.
Right, we shouldn't have 1.7 million.
No,
It's-
no, but
because-
you know, because
Right.
they knew it was there, they started your principal payments early to
Right.
pay down, because why would the district want to be sitting on there?
Right, exactly. And then why not pay it
And,
off
and,
sooner?
and it
than-
saves your taxpayers money.
Yeah.
Right, so that's the whole idea there.
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get, the last column, what is that column for? The 20, where it says the change column?
That is the change from your final amended to your original budget. So for instance, we projected at the top current property taxes of $4,150,000. We're projecting that's gonna be a $4,834,000 number, so that's gonna be $684,000 increase.
Because property
Okay.
values are going up.
And that
And
interfund
so-
transfer is no more because we've reconciled the issues between the funds. So that's what's pushing out the bottom here as far as your variance.
So this 2 million, that's that's how much we're gonna be, what's that balance?
So you wanna look at the blue numbers,
The blue
right?
number.
That's your
That's
original
our
budget.
Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
that's right.
All right, cool. That's what I was thinking, yeah.
And then the last page is your student activity fund where we're transferring money from the internal fundraising accounts into a special revenue fund for activities that have an educational nexus to them. And it's a journal entry that's performed at the end of the year, but we need a budget for that because it's a special revenue fund. And that concludes my presentation for the 25-26 budget.
Thank you for adding those pages too that explain what these last pages that tell us what,
Yeah, the
Oh, yes.
function
the
code.
function codes.
Yes.
That's
The
super
function code
helpful.
describes that,
Yeah,
those last few pages.
that's
For those of
awesome.
us who like to look at numbers, you know,
That's awesome.
I kind of do. I'm kind of a number nerd myself, so.
Well, like, you know, what is compensatory education, you know?
Right.
What does
yeah,
that mean?
Right. Okay, Mr. Bailey.
On page 6, it had function 211, function 213, which is truancy and health. And for truancy, we're only gonna be spending $13,160.
Actually, we're not spending anything, and I believe, because see the zero in the blue numbers, I believe that there are some random functions that we don't use anymore, or they could have been written into a grant, for instance, and that grant is no more, so, we are not planning on anything in function 211. And the health is the HRA grant we've been talking about, the decrease in the funding for support for health. And it's the nurses that were funded through the HRA grant.
So going forward, nothing for truancy, nothing for health.
That's right. And the big decrease in your HRA grant is in the social work services. Under function 216, that's where you're seeing that amount of decrease.
I want to be clear though, I guess your statement confuses me, Mr. Bailey. We will still be addressing absenteeism and truancy issues in the district, and we will still be addressing mental health within the district. So if your statement was, are we not gonna do anything about truancy? No, we will do things about truancy. And are we gonna continue to do things about mental health? Yes. And we'll have specific individuals built into the budget that are still focused on the mental health of students.
So, wait, looking at 216, like, what are we looking at? Like, which one am I supposed to be looking at? Like, am I looking at the employee
211,
benefits?
213.
No, I'm asking, for 216, I see some zeros. I'm trying to figure out
So
what's happening.
that was the HRA grant, the SEL, what were you referring to those as?
Yes. So,
That's right.
yeah, social, so that's.
I didn't know what SEL stood for.
So that is zero, right? When
No,
we're looking.
no, our social work, we're going from.
Our SEL staff were covered under a multitude of different places within the budget.
No, yeah, I got that part. I'm saying, I'm trying to figure out these numbers here, what's right here. So where are you saying?
So if you look at the combined total for those functions that start with a 2 and the next digit is a 1, it's called total pupil support services.
So I guess I'm kind of confused. Okay, gotcha.
So we were, originally had $3.2 million in last year's budget. We're
Right.
projecting 1.9 million in this year. And the majority of that is the loss of our HRA grant, which
Oh, gotcha.
supported
Okay.
these functions.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Thank
So-
you, Superintendent.
So my question is, I'm looking at the figures, I'm seeing a number, and then I'm seeing zeros.
There was only 13,000 in there
Right.
last year and 11,000 in that other number. So
Right.
we were looking at 24,000. It was probably written into some grant application where they just picked that function, or they spent money in that function, and maybe it should have belonged someplace else. But there's nothing in the budget for
For
25,
those.
26 for these random functions that have been selected for some strange reason.
Yeah.
It's kind of part of the cleanup of the district's records.
So maybe it's just budget speak among us, right? But again, when I look at truancy, I understand what truancy is, I understand what health is. And you're mentioning about random programs and fitting within this funding or whatever. What I'm seeing are zeros. Mr. Witt says we're gonna cover truancy, we're gonna cover health, but not account for it in terms of money, how much is going towards it?
So for instance, let's say the principal will cover the truancy issues. They're under function 241.
We will still have staff responsible for within the projected budget, we still have staff that will have mental health and SEL responsibilities. And we will still have staff that have responsibilities for addressing attendance. What I'm telling you, Mr. Bailey, is the one reason you haven't seen these function codes in the way you're seeing them now, and this goes back to some of your earlier point, is because Mr. Belting didn't appropriately account for things within these functions.
He didn't code them
Yes.
correctly.
Well, he didn't give you this level of detail.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're just
Not at all.
cleaning up
I
what
don't
Yeah,
think I've
should be.
ever
Right.
seen this level of
You're
detail.
doing it the right
I
way.
Right.
love it.
Yeah. This is awesome.
She's doing it the way that a
should've been done.
36-year
Should have been.
experienced
140
professional
year-old, yeah.
would set it up.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's more understandable the way.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm not getting anxiety. when I look at
You might be the only one then.
it. Just a little bit,
Listen,
but I can understand it. As
said-
long as I can understand something, I can deal with it.
Good.
I had some PTSD flashbacks from days of
I too worked in a
well, but I
district.
do want to point out, and I'm not saying this is the end-all be-all. These are assumptions, right?
right,
Right.
absolutely.
But at the same time, there are some key assumptions there that are unlike the past,
Right.
like honoring our negotiated agreements.
Yeah. I mean,
And
I
that
remember
is
the
a
days
part
when
of
we laid
this.
off, 30 people every April. And then we called them all back.
And
Just,
we're starting from a basis of being close to the early warning system, but again, the reason we're projecting this budget is because we want to get ourselves as far away from that threshold as possible. But we also want to be cognizant of the fact that this became a reality that had to be dealt with in the month of May. And those are the facts.
To the chair.
Mr. Bailey?
So, it's gonna take 4
4 weeks to go into the numbers and things of that nature. So, I'd like to put in a request so that this is a 10,000 foot level budget. I would like to see the budget that's actually the nuts and bolts. So when that comes out, I'd like to get a copy of it, and
Sure.
put in a request.
So we can't really do much about 24, 25, right? Because we're almost halfway through the very last month of your fiscal year. So looking forward, until we really have some solid numbers from state and federal government, which we're being told that is not going to happen before July 1, we really can't provide you with any better estimates than what we've provided today.
Right, but I want the nuts and bolts.
Sure.
We do have the 24, 25 that exists, so I'd like that copy. And when this other one comes for the next budget, the nuts and bolts, I'd like a copy of that
Sure.
too, if I could, please.
You will be getting the 24, 25 in your email either tonight or first thing tomorrow morning.
Yep.
Thank you.
And again, I apologize, I was of the understanding that both the more detailed level documents had already been provided
You want me to hit
in the packet, but.
Okay.
You can use it on me, but I'll have to use it on Jackie.
Listen, she's giving you the stink eye, man. All right. Oh, look,
Jackie needs a combat pace.
she needs a raise.
She does.
Jackie needs a
Because
raise.
She has to sit in the same room as.
You can look back.
I
on
can't.
past-
I love my
You can
boss.
look back on past budgets, and Jackie has had raises.
She needs another one.
She needs a combat
Listen,
pace.
cheap chocolate or, yes, there you go,
Yes.
there you go. I love my boss, and I wouldn't want to sit in the same room with her every day because I don't love her that much. All right. All right, the
No,
2025 tax rate request.
The L4029. I think we might be done with this, so.
We are done with the budget. We're moving on.
I don't know if you want to show the L4029 or not, but they have
Well,
a,
you have to go over it.
yeah, they have a paper copy.
We have a paper copy, yeah. You're off duty for now.
Thanks, Judy.
You did great, Judy.
Yes.
Yay, Judy.
So the
Cheer coach down here got cheer for you.
That's right.
So the L4029 is the topic of your truth in taxation hearing, which is really the whole reason why we're here tonight. So your taxable value is at the top of the page on all the properties in your school district. And underneath there is your non-homestead, excluding your principal residence. So this is the property that the 18 mills of non-homestead are levied on.
That's the 196 million?
Yep.
What- Okay.
So the district had approved in 2020 18 mills with a little Headley hedge. Over time, if your property values are expanding beyond the rate of inflation, that number is rolled back. And now it's rolled down to 17.1651. It really should be 18 mills. And the state doesn't care if you're levying your 18 mills or not. They're funding you as if you are. So it's on the district to levy 18 mills. And because we are not able to do that because of the Headley rollback, we might want to consider restoring this operating levy to something that will get us 18 mills plus a cushion. Because look how quickly it rolled back, right? It's 2025, and it was the 2020 election, and in 5 years, it's rolled below 18 mills. I did a rough calculation of how much property taxes you're losing by not having 18, by not levying 18 mills, and if off the top of my head, it was like 225,000. It was in the 200,000 range.
What's 18 mils? What is that?
A mill is $1,000 of property value.
I think though, the interesting
1,000
thing with
what?
these particular mills, we're talking about mills not on homeowners.
That's right. It's
So could you
anything
just
but a
review that?
homeowner. Yes.
Okay.
So this called
Oh, like the business tax.
yes,
Gotcha.
or rental homes, anything that's not considered a primary residence. So it's called non-PRE property, which means non-primary residence. Okay,
So
so
it
anything
was
that's not a
18
primary resident.
5.
I just thought it was important to distinguish that from like
Yes.
keeping the bond rate at 8.75. That's
Right.
not, that's on the
That's what homeowners pay.
That's right,
This is different.
right.
And now you said it was a mill is $1,000.
$1,000 of property values.
But yet the homeowners get to vote on it.
That's right. And it's easy to check the box. Yeah, let's tax the businesses, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then the debt is the next one, and this was part of your promise to your community that you wouldn't increase your debt mills when they voted in the 2025 bond. This is the money, we take the 8.75 mills and we levy that on all properties in the district, and that's the revenue that you see in the debt fund that pays down the principal and interest of your bond. So the debt fund that we've talked about twice,
Yeah,
in
what-
both of the board books that we looked at, the property value that is generated from this 8.75 mills rolls into your debt fund. In your 25-26 budget book, it is page 10. And that generates $4.8 million of property taxes that the district uses to pay down their long-term obligations. So we approve this L4029 each year. I believe you have one municipality, is it the city of Redford Union?
Redford
Township?
Township.
Redford Township.
It's the charter township.
The charter
of Redford.
township of Redford. And so we've probably already sent them a draft of this. Terry does a
'Cause
great.
Terry's on
She
it.
does a great job with this. And because they need to get this on their property tax rolls, right? Because they're chomping at the bit. We need this number to be able to put it on our tax rolls. So we send them a draft because these numbers don't change. We know it's gonna be 8.7 debt mills, and we've done the calculation for the non-homestead with the Headley rollback. We give them a heads up because we wanna be good partners with our municipality, so they can put this on their debt, their tax rolls, and start the process of printing your property tax bills, and then the board approves it. And then when you sign it, we send them the signed copy.
And unlike the previous two presentations, the approval of this form is on the agenda for the regular meeting. In fact, I believe it's the only action item.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, all right. Moving on, call to the audience, public participation regarding public budget hearing. All right, hearing none. Can I get a motion to adjourn the public budget hearing meeting?
Thank you.
Moved by Mr. Osowski. Is there support? Who said that? Lorna? Okay. Seconded by Mrs. Jean. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries. This meeting is adjourned at 7:34. We will take a food break, and we will go into our regular meeting.